Have you ever had a really good confession? One that perhaps you really prepared for well, or you did a good examination of conscience and you finally maybe revealed some sins that you had been afraid to say before, or really that hadn't come up in your mind? I can remember once in college that I can remember my first really good confession, one where I really allowed myself to reveal some of the things that my sins that were really difficult to speak about. And it was a really transformative moment for me. It was one that planted a seed that continued to grow, that made me want to really grow in holiness, to know God. And in a beautiful way, just receiving from God His mercy in that moment was amazing. To know that I was still loved in spite of my sins. Today, Jesus speaks about this parable of these two sons that are told by their father to go and work in the vineyard. The first one says that he won't go, and then he does later go. And the other one says that he will go and never actually goes. And he asks the Pharisees and scribes which one did the father's will. And they said it was the first, the one who actually made it out to the vineyard to work. The same is true for us, that we have to actually, no matter how long it takes, finally do the work of allowing the Lord to work in our hearts, to open ourselves and to be vulnerable to His grace and mercy in some way or another. It can be easy for us to say that, yes, I'm doing everything that I need to do. Okay, I'm following the commandments, or I'm doing what the church says to do. But if we don't really allow our hearts to be touched by God, if we don't allow ourselves to be vulnerable before Him, if we don't really take stock of our sins and allow the Lord to convict us, then we stay rooted in our own pride and our own self-righteousness, just like these Pharisees and scribes that Jesus is talking to. Today we celebrate the feast day of St. John of the Cross, one of the pioneers of mysticism in the church, a man who was very deeply rooted in prayer. And one of the great themes of his writings was always to go deeper in his own soul and deeper into his own spirituality, making himself vulnerable and open to the Lord every single day and allowing the Lord to purify his heart. That's what the Lord wants to do for us during this Advent season. He wants to really touch our hearts in a new and deeper way. But He's asking us to do the work. He's asking us to do the simple thing, but the not so easy thing of opening our hearts, of being laid bare before Him. It's not easy, but with the Lord's grace we can do it. And hopefully one day be worthy to enter the kingdom of heaven with Him.